Hi, this is Cheryl Hazard. So, what I wanted to talk about today was about how sometimes when I journal, I write about how I should have done this or I should have done that so that I could have prevented my life from being as hard as it was. It might have been things like I should have invested money so that I didn't end up broke or maybe homeless or, you know, struggling financially while dealing with CPS. There's things like that. And I definitely have my share of would have, could have's, and all that stuff. But what I realized is that beating myself up doesn't make that any easier. It just adds to my ouch factor. And the thing is that, life can hit hard. And you have to make the most of your talents, your areas of knowledge, your skills, what you know and what you have available at the time to work with. And that could be more, that could be less. And sometimes you have to learn to work with less or how to get the most out of having less. So, I guess what I'm saying is that, like me, you make the most of what you know at the time, what you have available, your skill set. And, sometimes when life gets hard, the panic button sets in. Mine did when it got hard. So sometimes, it can be difficult. And it's easy to look back on and say something and say, I should have done this, I should have done that. And then you got to remember, that panic button may have kicked in. So it might have been a little harder to think straight during a panic situation. When I was about to be homeless and I was pregnant, that panic button kicked in. It kicked in and I was scared out of my skull. And it was all last minute trying to do things. And being pregnant, I was tired. So that really didn't help much. So what I want to say to you is, it's easy to beat yourself up for things it's easy to beat yourself up when you think you should have done something different. Or you look back on it and it's easy to say, oh, I could have done this. Or you think of another idea. And hindsight is really 20/20. You might not have all the answers when you're panicking because something's going wrong. Sometimes things are clear to you that weren't clear at the time. So, don't beat yourself up for the should've, would've's, could've's, because you learn and you grow. And even from being homeless and pregnant, I learned to relate to the struggles of, many people. And, to appreciate having more, maybe I had to learn what it was like not to have more. So, that's an advantage to having been in that position is I learned to empathize more with the needs of people who are struggling to get by. I learned to see things from what it was like to be scraping the barrel. But you know what? There are good, kind people in this world who also helped me out. And, those people haven't completely disappeared in this world. And that was something to see. So, I learned to value the help of others. And I learned to value what I have. And I realized that sometimes you have to scrape the barrel to appreciate it when you're not scraping the barrel.